right, hey everybody, welcome to the flip side of board games. I'm Sam.
I'm JT.
And we are here continuing our top 10 games with dragons. Now, if you didn't check it, on the Dice Tower last Friday, we went ahead and released our bottom 5 games that have dragons in them, and that's just numbers 6 through 10 of this list. We are continuing that list today with numbers 5 to 1. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and continue on with our number 5 coming up. Okay, here we go. My number 5. Now, I actually pulled this game out and double-checked.
That it had a dragon
to
somewhere
make sure that it had a dragon in it, and sure enough, when you turn over the Lancelot board, there it is, the big old dragon that you have to fight, Shadows over Camelot.
Nice.
I really enjoy this game. It is a game that will forever remain in my collection because I have that much of a connection to it. I really enjoy the theme. I've always been kind of a sucker for Arthurian legend themes.
Yeah, me too.
And while I get that the gameplay is not hugely thematic, you're basically just playing poker hands, basically, trying to get all these different things accomplished. The cooperative nature of it is something that I really enjoy, and more often than not, this turns into a Monty Python and Quest for the Holy Grail, quote, marathon fest. Yes, and that's where a lot of the fun is derived, is just cracking jokes throughout the entire time, accusing people of being the traitor, sometimes for real, sometimes just tongue-in-cheek, and it's just a great, great time. I don't think it'll ever leave my collection for it because of all of that. So that's my number 5, game with dragons in it, Shadows over Camelot.
Very nice. It's a good game. No, just kidding.
I feel some judgment in that statement.
No judgment. None whatsoever. All right, my number 5 game, and go check out the 6 through 10, because they are good.
Yes, absolutely.
But anyways, my number 5 game is a newer game to me. I haven't played it a lot, but it definitely has a dragon in it, and it's called Volfirian Guilds.
Huh?
Yep, Volfirian Guilds.
Volfirian Guilds.
Yes.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. And it's a really cool box, and it has a giant dragon on it. But Volfirian Guilds, we'll just say VG from now on.
It sounds like a disease. Don't say that.
No, we don't say that. All right. Yeah. Anyways, it is a 1v1 deck builder like Dominion or like Radlands. More so, kind of like a mix between the two, because you have home bases, you have castles that you have to defend.
Okay.
And then your job is to destroy the other person's 3 cities while you're doing this deck building. In this one, you have 3 different, sometimes like in StarCraft or something, you only have 2 different, or Star Realms. Mm-hmm. You only have 2 different resources. In this one, you have 3 resources, and the third one is called Knowledge, and there is this dragon off to the side called Volfirian. That's his name. Mm-hmm. And if you have enough knowledge, you can coerce Volfirian into going over and sitting on one of the other players' cities. And if at the end of their turn he's still there and they didn't get rid of him, he automatically wipes their city out.
Whoa.
And super powerful. I mean, because their cities are hard to take out. But you can coax him into taking it out. You can also, if you have enough combat strength, you can actually take out Volfirian himself.
Wow.
And then you get his lair as one of your new locations.
So Volfirian is just a huge mercenary.
Yep, he's a giant mercenary dragon in this land.
Nightmare juice.
As you try to destroy each other's cities. So it's a really cool game. I do need to play it more, but it's definitely got dragon in it.
And it's just 1v1, just a 2-player game. Okay, that's cool. We'll have to check that out. That sounds interesting. My number 4. And I'm assuming this might be on your list, but this also might be one that you kind of figure like it's a shoehorn, because it only has 1 card in the entire game. But you're fighting a dragon.
Right on.
You're fighting, actually it's dragons, plural. So it's 1 card to represent many dragons. There we go.
Oh.
And this is called Kingsburg, 2nd edition.
There's a dragon in Kingsburg.
One of the
now
9.
I even like it more.
One of the 9 level bad guys. The third, one of the last bad guys that you can fight in the game is a bunch of dragons.
Well, I'll be darned.
A dragon attack. So I really enjoy this game. Dice placement, which is basically you roll dice, and then the number of pips that you have determine how many different places on the board that you can activate, basically. And they're kind of like your court staff that you're trying to, your advisors and whatnot, and you're going to them to get stuff done in the kingdom, get buildings built within your kingdom that's going to help you fend off the attacks and gain points throughout the course of the game. It's a really fun game. It looks cool too. I'm more partial to the original version of the game as far as how it looks. The new version also looks good, but I like the other one better.
Nice.
But second edition is the one that you can more readily get your hands on right now. So that's why it's on the list.
Well, Kingsburg has moved up in my ratings now.
There you go. Now it has a dragon in it.
It has a dragon in it.
So that's my number, what was it? 4.
Number 4.
Kingsburg, second edition.
All right. My number 4 is probably not going to be on your list. Probably shouldn't be on anybody's list. But back in the day, when it came out, it had the dragon on it. It had the dragon in it. And I played it a couple hundred times because it was one of the only games that we had back then. But this is Talisman.
Okay. Isn't that the roll and move thing around the...
It is the roll and move. 3 levels. Roll and move. I still have my old second edition copy. It's not in great shape, but I have all of the expansions in there. The city, even the space escape one, the dungeon, all of it. It's all in there. In fact, I opened it up today just to look inside, and the rubber bands around the cards were so brittle that a couple of them have fallen apart. So I bagged them today. But regardless, back in the early 90s, late 80s, I guarantee I played this a couple hundred times.
Yeah.
That was one of our staple board games.
Yep.
Giant dragon on the cover, and it just fit the bill for me.
Back when roll and move was a viable mechanism.
Well, we won't even talk about roll and move until your next list, because we're going to do 2007 games at some point, and a roll and move is going to pop up in his friggin' list.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
But still, back in the day, Talisman will always hold a special place in my heart.
Yeah, that's cool. My number 3, we are breaking into the realm of the modern era with this one. Actually, it's not. A lot of these have been modern era games. But modern era games, this one is like super, I think it's the newest game on my list. Yep, it is the newest game on my list.
Oh, nice.
And it has a whole bunch of cutesy little dragons in it. Flamecraft. And if this one...
I forgot about this one, too.
No,
I'm
didn't.
just kidding.
That's coming up. It's coming up. Flamecraft is a really neat family weight game. It's probably a little bit slightly heavy on the family weight level, but it's definitely in that window of weight for people,
nice
because
game.
We have used it in a number of different board game nights as a gateway where, people are used to playing, Monopoly and Skip Bo and all that kind of stuff. And we say, well, hey, try this. They were family members. They knew that, we're kind of
not going to lead them astray
knee deep
too far
into stuff. And so they played it and they really enjoyed it. And a couple of them have gone out and purchased the game after we showed them how to play it. So it does have that gateway appeal to it. And part of that is just how good the game looks. Yeah. Comes with a playmat that is, a neoprene playmat. A lot of the artwork is just super good. The dragons are super, friendly looking. None of them are ferocious or anything like that. Because you're all looking for, you're all basically getting these dragons and they're helping people run their stores.
Sure. Yeah.
With their different magical
dragon
abilities.
town.
Yeah, it's a dragon town. So it's a really great game, really beautiful game, and I knew it was going to make my list when we thought about this theme. So my number 3, Flamecraft.
All right, that was a pretty good pick. It's not as good as my number 3, which is Flamecraft.
I knew it.
So we crossed right over on that one. Same thing as Sam said. I mean, it's just a little dragon village. It's cute. It's really quite a fun game. I mean, it is a fun game.
Yeah.
And people, when you start playing with them and teaching them. It just draws them in. So, yeah. Number 3
Very
is
good.
Flamecraft.
Super cool.
All the way around.
My number 2, and I had to double check because I really wanted to include this game in this list. So I had to check. I thought I remembered.
Had to find a dragon in the bottom corner of the rule book.
Well, I mean, that counts. It's
All
in
right,
the game.
it does
No,
count.
I'm just kidding. It's not that. This game has cards that you have to go fight, and they are called drakes or drakies. They are actually huge flying lizards. So they're not called dragons, but in the lore of the game,
You can take it.
they are called drakes. It's called Champions of Midgard. They are in the game.
Champions of Midgard?
Yes.
So this was on my short list, but didn't make it because of the stretch.
I don't care.
But obviously,
I don't care.
if you're going to go fight monsters, dragons are going to be there.
Dragons are going to be there, and dragons are definitely there. They are still. They aren't your, high fantasy dragons that like they don't look like Tiamat or anything like that. But within the lore, the Viking lore of the game, they are definitely dragons. Absolutely. And so that's why it's in there. And I really enjoy this game. Last time I played this game, I got wrecked by it. But even that wrecking reminded me how much I love this game.
Yeah.
It's such a good game. And I could not put it on my list knowing that it has dragons in it.
All right. I give it to you. I agree. I concur.
I feel like you got a bigger shoehorn coming up. That's
No,
why
I
you're
don't.
giving me
Actually,
grace.
I have no more shoehorns coming up.
All right.
I kind of built the list with the shoehorns at the bottom, and well, not exactly, but
I got the biggest
I got
shoehorn
it more,
coming up, baby.
more thematic as we go. I think. Well, for the most part. My number 2 is a game that you've already mentioned. Did you mention it on the Dice Tower list? Clank.
Yes.
Clank was in his
Hashtag
other
spoilers.
half. Oh, hashtag spoilers. Go watch it.
You've already watched
Don't
it
listen
over
to me.
there.
Yep. Yeah. So Clank is my number 2.
Cool.
Obviously for the same darn reason. You're going into the dragon's lair.
Yep.
You're stealing his treasure, and you're getting out before he eats you or roasts you or stomps you or whatever else he might do to you. Flambés you. Regardless, it's definitely a solid theme in the game. So.
Makes an Alaskan out of you. Mm-hmm. You have to know what the dessert is to understand that joke.
Yep.
Gonna douse you in liquor and then...
Boom. No, yeah. Clank is a fantastic game.
Very cool.
In all of its forms.
Absolutely is. Totally agree with it. And I should say, I think you probably already realized this by now, but the fact that these games are on the list are not the level to which the dragon is incorporated into the game.
Sure.
It's our liking of the game.
Sure.
Speaking of which, my number 1 has, I think, a single token. No, maybe there are 2.
Oh man!
Maybe there are
really
2 tokens.
Is number 1.
There are 2 tokens and a I forget what they're called. Not the race, but the other. There's a race and
faction.
The
Is
faction.
this Small World.
Small World.
That was another.
You
one that
can
was
be
on my list.
dragon keepers.
You can.
In Small
Keepers.
World, and the dragon can be used to protect one of your areas from being invaded.
That's a true statement.
Throughout the course of the round, so that you know that place is safe. You don't have to stack up a whole bunch of. So it's usually used as like a stopgap, but it's got a dragon in it. It works.
It sure
And I
does.
really enjoy this game.
It sure
Small
does.
World. I've got like a whole bunch of Small World right here. So you know how much I love the game. So it works. Small World. That's my number 1 game that has a dragon in it.
No complaints from me. My number 1 game should be everybody's number 1 dragon game because you get to be the dragon.
You get to be the dragon?
Yeah, it's called Trogdor.
Oh, I've never played it.
Trogdor is a fantastic game. You are Trogdor the dragon, and it comes from the comic books, and then maybe there was even a cartoon series at some point. But you are Trogdor. You've got this little map grid, and you're running around burning down villages, eating villagers to heal. Every tile on the board flips over from its nice green side to its burnt side. You're getting chased around by archers and everything else. But you are Trogdor, and everybody's Trogdor. So you're all playing Trogdor on your turn, but you use an action card selection and just run around and cook everything.
That's
you're
cool.
Trying to cook it all. So
some people just like to watch the world burn.
Some people. Some Trogdors.
Trogdor's one of those people.
Yep, and it's got cool little components. We actually had to find the little components, but the little buildings, it's like a little hut, and when you flip the hut over, it's a fire.
That's actually
it's
pretty
really cool. Like there's all kinds of cool things
cool.
going on there. But Trogdor, that's my number one dragon themed game. Yep.
Super. Well, that is our top 5 dragon, or rather, top 5 games that have dragons in them, not dragon-themed games.
Or at least a dragon token.
Yes. At the very least, it's got a dragon in there.
Games. That's right.
And it works.
Yep.
It checked all the boxes. Thank you for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. If you didn't catch the bottom 5 over on the Dice Tower, you can go check that out. It was released a couple of days ago. And we'll be coming up next week. Next Friday on the Dice Tower, we will have our top 10 games, or rather the bottom 5 games from the year 2007. So the reason we're doing that...
Ages ago.
Nah, it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't not that long ago. It's just, and that's just to kind of provide a baseline for everybody so that you can make the determination whether or not you want to come back and listen to us or not.
I don't think it's going to help, but come back anyways.
Probably not. Anyway, we're going to get on out of here. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
See you later.